All right, this is part 2, or just the continuation of manifestation through the hum. And I'm just going to pick up on the sentence that we left off. So, and what does this reveal about the architecture of reality itself? If the hum can imprint intention into the field, that means consciousness is not separate from physics. Let me say that again. That means consciousness is not separate from physics. Thought, sound, and geometry are not 3 different things. They are one process. Consciousness is vibration. Vibration is geometry. Geometry is matter. This also shows why most people fail at manifesting. They try to think things into existence without turning into resonance, without coherence, without geometry. That's why the Metatronic overlay keeps people trapped in chaotic frequencies. And we're going to get in it in the reality engine big time. So fear, lust, despair, it's the wrong hum, the wrong tone. And if you vibrate at the wrong tone, you crystallize chaos. But when you align with the true architecture, when the heart and mind are united, when emotion harmonizes, when intention is placed in the still point of the singularity, of the toroidal field, you rise above the distortion. You access the architecture of infinity. That's when manifestation works as it was designed. This isn't about just sound. It's about showing that the human body is a part of the machine of creation itself. The hum is the most direct way to prove it. From here we can branch into the mathematics of infinity, the transdimensional ladder, the toroidal resurrection cycle, because what we've really uncovered isn't just how to manifest one thing. We've uncovered the blueprint for how reality itself is generated, sustained, and recreated through us. And that's the completion of this part of manifestation through the hum. One other quick thing I wanted to tell you before we move on to the reality machine, which is I had to cover this part first, right, before we could hop into the reality machine, so you understood all this. So we're going to go into that. But one other thing I was going to tell you, when I was on my way up to Michigan last weekend, I had a bad headache. And so I started doing different frequencies of humming. I had a 4-hour drive. And and I was focusing them up on my head. And I noticed that the higher pitches helped soothe the head way more than the lower tones. And just one quick thing I was going to tell you, you have these little bones that stick out right here on the side of your nose. And if you have a headache and you want it to go away fast, I just happened to figure this out. But so if you're humming, if you take 2 fingers like this and you kind of go over that area and you just touch your head, the vibration will go directly from your nose through your fingers directly to your head, and it will start breaking that energy up. And then the energy kind of started moving and it started going back here. So then I was touching my nose here and I was doing some kind of weird thing while I was driving. I don't know. But anyways, you'll feel it if you try it and you do it at a higher pitch. You'll definitely, it's let me see. That's all the higher you have to do. If you go higher, sometimes it's too high. You don't want to go too high and you don't want to go too low. You'll feel what soothes where the trap energy is in your body, what tone you need to use. And you just do that with intention. And so in the last video when I was talking about feeling the hum in your head and in your chest, right? Because you can you can, with your intention, understand where you want to focus the energy at. And then once you feel that hum there, then you start circulating it and then visualize it doing this. And you'll start to feel it. And something else I wanted to tell you too. So I talked about dimensions the other night. I talked about all kinds of things. I talked about how when you get to the 12th dimension, you have all the perspectives of all the dimensions from your fractal point of view. And at that point, you are the singularity reflecting yourself, essentially. So when I was talking about the dimensions, the reason I went over all these other ones was so you would know that these are the other dimensions. I didn't come up with these. These already existed, right? Universal Gateway, Soul Star, all these, the monad, all these chakras exist. I didn't come up with these, all right? But I just wanted you to see that in relation to the 12 dimensions, I keep talking about the 12 chakras that are here. And why was it when I went over this video, when I said the highest, the monad, the source chakra, I said at that time, you don't make any sound, any hum sound. Your whole body, you can just hum, right? Because you're feeling the vibration. And why would it be silent? Because you are the black sun. You are the silence. You are the projector. But it's because you're the center point. So that is the center point in relation to like the black sun or the singularity, if that makes sense. But I wanted you guys to recognize that. And that's why there was no sound on this 12th chakra when we were talking about the hum and stuff like that. And I think it even says it up here maybe, but that's why that one, because I told you at that point, your whole body you could just feel the hum through the vibration of your body by visualizing it, by becoming it, just like you would become, you go back to source, go back to singularity, becoming all the expressions of all that is, right? But anyways, those were a few other couple points I wanted to give to you there. So now we're gonna next video we're gonna run into the reality machine, and it's gonna be fun. Hope you have a great night. Namaste.